to the Scott Ballard Show here on the Warrior Sports Network. I'm Grant Wall, joined as always by Winona State head women's basketball coach Scott Ballard. And coach, this is our last week of the regular season. I can't believe it's here. But it's two more games in the regular season. And before we get into those later this week, let's talk a little bit about last week. And I know you've talked about the losing streak and how it felt like an 800-pound gorilla on your back, and you got that gorilla off on Friday night, a win over St. Cloud State. That had to just feel fantastic.
Well, I was so happy for our kids, not just because we won, but because of the stress, the fatigue, that awful feeling they've been carrying around for a month of wondering if they're ever going to win another game. We had several close calls and came out on the short end, and then basically having confirmation that Tessa's career is over this past week was, that was a hit to your hopefulness that if you made things last long enough that she would make it back. But I was proud of her kids for how focused they were, how intense they played, how well they shot the ball. We were just very consistent at both ends of the floor for 40 minutes, and we kind of got off to a slow start. St. Cloud, got up, if I remember right, 10 or 12 on us early in the game, but we put together a really good stretch.
Yep.
The last 10 minutes of the first half, and went on a big run and had a lead at halftime, and we played probably 8 minutes without Abby. She got poked in the eye early in the first half and had to sit out and get that taken care of. But I was proud of our effort and our focus and our energy, and we made a lot of shots late in the shot clock throughout the game, and had a cushion to work with going into the last 3 minutes, and took care of the ball and made enough free throws and got enough stops and rebounds that we were able to hang on.
You mentioned, or we've talked all year about how tough this group has been and how they've just never given up, and you got up big in the second half, up by double digits. Then St. Cloud kind of started chipping away at that lead. But you mentioned you made some shots at the end of the shot clock. I think 3 of them as the clock was expiring. And then, like you said, you didn't make mistakes going down the stretch and were able to hold on for that win. That had to be a little bit more confirmation that this team is close.
Yeah, well, it just kind of proves that they're growing. We're learning how to play without Tessa. We had multiple people that made shots at the end of the shot clock. You had Callie Hackman hit a big 3 at the end of the shot clock. Emily Passant, Connor Nagel, Kate Hartman, Abby Bush. So it's 5 different people that made a difficult shot with the clock running out on us, and that's very deflating for the defense. They play defense for 28 seconds, and then you still knock down a shot. But they are third in the league in scoring, St. Cloud, and they like to run, they like to shoot the 3. They've got 4 or 5 post people that they all are different from each other, but they're very capable. St. Cloud has beaten Minot twice. They beat Augie. They beat Duluth once. They've got some good wins, and so that was a concern going into that matchup, is if we could control tempo and hold them down into scoring, because we're not a very explosive offensive team. And to hold them to 59 points was quite an accomplishment for our group.
You've had great individual performances all year, but Friday's game was one of the first times that you've had multiple people who played fantastic games, both Abby and Connor, over 20 points for the night. Other contributions, as you mentioned, Callie Hackman, Emily Pass, and Kate Hartman. But it was a game where everything seemed to kind of come together for you.
Yeah, it did. And, unfortunately, the next night, the first half was just complete opposite. We couldn't make any shots, and our intensity was not the same, and the matchup was different. But Friday night's game against St. Cloud is without a doubt the best that we've played since before Tessa went down with her injury, and it was kind of a glimpse or a sign of what we're capable of when we have multiple people show up offensively the same night. So that was good to see, and hopefully we'll see some more of that here in the next week or so.
Absolutely. Well, it was a great weekend, a great chance for you guys to kind of get that monkey off your back Friday against St. Cloud State. When we come back later this week, first we're going to sit down with Tara Roloffs, the Warrior freshman guard, and then we'll have more from Coach Ballard later in the week here on the Scott Ballard Show.